Call the voice notes concerning two members of the PNP. One of the voices belonged to an elected official at the local government level, councillor in Manchester. And he's the one who spoke about delay tactics where the implementation of NARA is concerned. So there was a flyer going around on the weekend that he was being, well, he was going to be one of the contenders for a senior role in the PNP's machinery in the region of the country that includes the municipal corporation he represents. And I said, oh, well, this can't be so. Not so soon after that controversy. They would seek to not bring additional scrutiny on him, especially because no one from the party has condemned what he said or disavowed him or what he said. They'd cool out for a little bit, at least. Well, silly me for thinking that they'd cool out, because I saw this.
Region 5, this is Councillor Mario Mitchell, Councillor of the Belfield Division, your regional councillor and someone who has always been there. The vision I have for Region 5 is to build a stronger, more cohesive unit to ensure that we bridge the gap. I have 8 pillars of which I want to campaign on to ensure that Region 5 becomes the strongest region in the People's National Party across Jamaica. Pillar 1, unity, one party, one family, where we ensure that we bridge the gap and ensure that unity is the purpose of which we move forward. Organization, to ensure that we organize each division, all 30 divisions, all 8 constituencies across Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Ensure that we create opportunities for the comrades on the ground to ensure that we empower them, ensure that we continue to build them in the sense of purpose as we move forward. Our young persons are at the forefront, and we will continue to ensure that we invest in them, we manage them, and ensure that we give them opportunities that they can join the People's National Party and feel a sense of belonging. Sense of community, where we take it back to basic, take it underground, where we build our structures from the foundation and continue to build, ensure that all communities are involved, all community stakeholders are involved, to ensure that we build from the ground up. Ensure that the People's National Party provides leadership, and Region 5 will be a shining example where we have all leadership levels of the party functioning as we move forward for victory. So, comrades of Region 5, I encourage you this Sunday, vote Councillor Mario Mitchell, who have always been on the ground with you, who have always been beside you in all 30 divisions, all 8 constituencies in both parishes, Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Region 5 will be stronger. Mario Mitchell, a proven winner, a proven performer, and an accomplished councillor.
Proven performer, proven winner, accomplished councillor. There's a nice graphic at the end of that video which says, he's a tactician, he's a winner, he knows how to win elections. So he is the potential chairman of the PNP's Region 5. And he's asking for a mandate from the people to make that a certainty. Okay. So, if he gets that mandate from those eligible to vote in that contest, what will he do where standards of decency are concerned, where putting the national interest before partisan political interest is concerned, where sullying the reputation of someone not in his party is concerned, and where that sullying is part of a process of engineering the downfall of that individual who's responsible for a national imperative. What will his attitude be towards all those things? Because we're pivoting from the voice note, what was said, what he said, and asking, will there be a new set of standards created by Councillor Mitchell? When Councillor Mitchell speaks to integrity, when Councillor Mitchell speaks to honesty, is he only talking about integrity and honesty as it relates to PNP business? What will he say about integrity, honesty, decency on the national front? At what point will he acknowledge what he said on the tape? Is it that he's concerned only with the PNP and not with what the rest of Jamaica thinks? Does he believe that with what he said, people will not only ignore what he said, but endorse him on the back of what he said? Is it fair to say that the comrades who will endorse him, who will vote for him in that leadership contest, are endorsing what he said in that voice note? And if so, are they all party to the unaliving of decency in public office? Are they all party to the denudation of the moral high ground that we expect our politicians, elected officials to stand on? And if after that episode, which usually sees a party ask an official to cool out, hold your head down in your elected position, continue to do work and just cool out. But no, the man's whole frame is above the parapet. Normally you raise up your head, look a bit. Whole body is above the parapet. Brawling. The voice note did not happen, is what we're being told to accept. And Councillor Mitchell smiles. Turn up the charm till it buck. And listen to the words of this man in that video, speaking the way that a thoroughly decent politician is expected to speak. Speaks of a shining example. What kind of country are we creating? And who, outside of hardcore comrades, would endorse and support this? And where, in a national election, exists so many hardcore comrades that those who reject the things that Councillor Mitchell said in his voice note would be outnumbered by those hardcore enough to endorse the comments he made about doing things to sabotage a program intended to help tens of thousands of Jamaicans disrupted, their lives disrupted by a Category 5 hurricane. The standards are being reset right in front of our eyes. We've been asked to relinquish ethics. Forget about decency. It's about convenience. It's about opportunity. It's about political office. There is no such thing as decency. Some of our politicians are telling us today. Do not hold anybody to high standards. Anything goes. We will say anything, do anything. We won't even apologize for it. And we'll come to you, look you in the eye and say, we are here for your vote. That's the new reality. The question is, are you party to it? Are you satisfied with the rewriting of the standards of basic human decency that is happening right in front of your eyes? People who will look at you and tell you that water is a solid in its natural state. And when it suits them, they'll turn around and say, water is not a solid in its natural state. And I say, oh, well, you just said that, and them say, you forget what I said then. May I talk about this now? Sometimes I wonder if I'm living in a twilight zone. What can go so? So, let's sit back, relax, and see what the comrades do in this election in Region 5. If the delay tactics boss, Councillor Mario Mitchell, will charm his way to the chairmanship. And what that will say about all those who will jump and support him. And how Party Central will ignore all that he said before and tell you it's not about what was said before. It's about the way forward. We are moving forward. You should too. You should forget what he said. And you should embrace him. And anybody who's insistent on us commenting on what he said and reconciling what he said then about what exists now, you should be ostracized. You're an enemy of the party if you do that. And you're a laborite if you do that. My God. What a thing. What a place. Break time. Your calls after these. There was a time when the maintenance of decency and the preservation of the integrity of the politics, it was a job shared shared among, more than two, shared among the church, the media, and civil society. Don't know what's happened to the church because the foremost voices are singing a song that sounds garbled to me, and I'm being kind. There's no such thing as civil society. What we have now is evil society. Downright evil. And it's left to the media alone to carry a burden that for decades was shared at least among three parties, three pillars. So the weight was on three plinths. No, only one plinth exists. And the weight heavy. But until our backs break, we will do our share of the heavy lifting. All when we are alone, we will bear the burden because that's what we are burden bearers. Nothing never get weary, the song says, and neither shall we, even with a bald head. And for the things that are happening to this country in the name of political expediency and the quest for political power, where I will say anything, do anything, and change my actions and my words the next day if it suits me, and if you ask me about it, it's because you support the other side. And if you ask me about it, it's because you're evil. And if you ask me about it, I will not answer. And you should accept that. For as long as that continues, we will bear the burden of holding to account, of questioning. And if we are to be the only guardians of integrity in the political discourse and the political process, then so shall it be. And if the wicked kill we, then we will die under the burden. Yeah. Before I go to my first caller, I'm looking at a document here which says, I said I wasn't going to talk about Cooper's Pen in my preamble, but needs must. Regarding that controversial caveat on the Cooper's Pen property, I'm seeing from the copies of the document here that on the title for the land, which also has a diagram of the land, you know, the road and the abutment and whatever it is. So the court, the document, the document, the title, that controversial caveat was withdrawn from about 2014, 12 years ago. So those who were using that argument to say that, boy, the thing ought not to have, demolition ought not to have happened, the people should have not moved to reclaim their land because of the caveat. The documents here say the caveat was removed from about 2014. All right? Yeah. So that is that. I hear I have Fergie online. Good morning, Fergie. Hello. Hello.
Morning, George.
Morning, sir.
Yes. Boy, one thing I learned, you know, that politics is not church work, right? A serious thing. And I'll never forget, you know, I was at a meeting, and a minister, you know, was summing up the meeting. At the end, he said, listen, I don't want anybody going to the press and saying this and saying that. Because if you quote me, I'll kiss up a Bible from here to Jerusalem and never say so.
Can you imagine that?
That's about 30 odd years ago, though.
Yes.
Anyway, back to my point, George. I noticed that a lot of low-hanging fruits in terms of food security and producing products in Jamaica and reducing import and export substitution. I want people to note.
Export or import substitution?
Import substitution and export expansion.
That's right. Good.
Research. With the big budget we have, there's not $1 there for research and development in terms of those 2 years.
You're
right?
not lying. You're not lying. I've always lamented that, sir.
Not even $1. And for over 30 years I've been begging, and successive governments, ministers come and address. I talk about the baking school that you take. I feel like John the Baptist in the wilderness now.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot have growth. You don't have research and development. How are you going to improve and get things done?
Stick up in. Stick up in. The baking school that was in the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management, HTM, is not there anymore?
Same one.
It's not
I was
anymore?
the one. Yes, it is here.
Oh.
But I was the one who lobbied for it. To get it at UTEC, they wanted to put in Trinidad.
You think a little bit of muffin me eat out of something, sir? With the girl and bake and I walk around and ask if a test? Yeah.
Yes, man, hospitality and
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
But I mean, that school, USAID and US Wheat Associates, right, contacted the Baker Association while I was president, and I wanted to put a baking school in the region.
Yes.
And I wanted to put in Trinidad. And I had to fight very hard.
Yes.
And lobbied hard a lot, you know, to get them to put it in Jamaica.
Yes.
And thank God for Dr. Sangster, the late Dr. Sangster.
Dr. Alfred Sangster.
Right. He gave us the space at UTEC. And the USAID put the school. It's a basic quick baking school in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Yes.
Millions of dollars.
Yes.
Right? And yet we are talking about here, right now if you want a bagel, I don't think if a hotel want baker to buy now, I don't think there's one baker in Jamaica that can sell it.
Sir,
That's important.
Fergie, you know that's an excellent point because I'm thinking of it now. And all of the bagel I see in the supermarket fridges, a pure foreign bagel. You're right.
All of them. All of them.
And for the record, people might think say bagel is just, as some people. Bagel sell like hot bread, well, cold. Bagel sell hard.
Yeah, it's close to hard though, bread.
It sell hard, yes. And we import all of it.
We import it. And the people in the hotel industry wanted to buy it. They can't get it. They have to import it.
Yes.
And I'm saying, why aren't we developing those things at the baking school?
Yes.
Why aren't we, they say we are a banana republic. Why aren't we producing the best banana muffin?
Yes.
Why aren't we producing the best banana puree? We're not doing no research and development. What they do, when you talk to the minister, some of them say, oh, we have the Scientific Research Council. They are scientists, they are not bakers.
Yes.
They should be working, Scientific Research Council should be working with the baking school.
In tandem, yes. It's a relay, yes. Right? Yes.
And not even a dollar go to that baking school 30 years ago.
Yes.
And I talk about it many times, and it just, like Michael in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah, we shouldn't be importing bagels. What do you call the flatbread again? There's a special name for it. You know what I'm talking, man.
And the French bread.
Not the grotto bread, man. The flatbread. There's some flatbreads that they sell. Pita bread. PTA.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to import that, sir?
But they also import our French bread and all kind of other things. A lot of things they import, and I don't believe in it. I'm a serious Jamaican who not living nowhere else but Jamaica. I prefer work